Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment of Wheelin' Wednesday. It is, of course, still Crawlympics, which has been going on for what I feel like is forever, or some increment of forever. This is stage 3. This is group 5. I'm 93 to 95% sure that this is group 5. Misdirection, Toothless, the Rattler, and the Tranquish. We've got a real mix today. Elementized Capra was a 10-2, but now isn't. Was a Red Cat Ascent and now shares nothing with it. And the other is a VS410 with a VFD twin with TRX4 axles. We have no commonality of tire manufacturer. I don't think there's any commonality of power plants. It goes Outrunner, Brushed, Outrunner, and Fusion Pro. So it's all over the place. This should be a pretty good group. They're all reasonably well sorted out. The only one that is up for question, it is, yes, very nearly the dead of winter. It is nevertheless quite warm here in the sun. I'm catching the perfect blinder off of Toothless's windshield, thankfully not directly into the camera. The tires on our good friend Rattler down there are Injora S5 comp pins, and I think the temperature on the rock might be enough to where we're getting out of the comfort zone of S5, despite the fact that it is the dead of winter. Everybody else's tires, everybody else's layouts should do just fine. You know the green line rules: 10 for a rollover, 7 for a gate strike, 2 for a reverse, 4 points because the floor is lava, but you can use that to your effect. And we are still doing the 21-point max out. Luckily, we're starting to run it enough that we don't have a lot of max outs. We've only got a couple vehicles that have been eliminated. And the GFO should get a redo because his mechanical did not happen on the course. It happened due to poor scrutineering prior to him going out onto the course. He was broke before he went on the course. That's not nice. So these are your 4. As I said, it is hot in the sun. The camera toter has already announced vocally they don't want to be here right now. So we will make our very best effort to bust through this with as little drama as possible so that all of us, the rigs, myself, and the toter, all inclusive, can get out of the sun. So they go in that order. They go in a Z formation. Misdirection, Toothless, the Rattler, closing it out with Tranquish. No bonuses this week. We do have a bonus runner next week, but here in Group 5 it is those 4. There's the course over there. Let's get going. All right. I'll tell you right now, as we roll into 1, camera 2 is way over there by 8 and 9. Camera 2 is just right out in the middle. It's too hot. It's too hot, and there's too many bees to try to get a better camera positioning. We haven't figured out where any of the cameras should be positioned. Ooh. Slide it down, slide it down. I see now yellow on gate 2 is properly hanging off of the base. So maybe we'll address that. I don't know. Okay. I have stated in the past about Misdirection that I like a Capra cage on a narrower axle, and I stand by that. I need to see yellow side here. These big beach balls here, these are these are pink Rovers. And my advice still stands on this as well. If you are going to purchase Rovers, buy the white. They're $10 cheaper a pair, and they have a thinner carcass, so they're a little less finicky. Counter to what you might think, they're a little less finicky about insert. These get a little picky, and I mean, we're talking $20 difference. I went for a little speed burst there. That looks real wide. I don't think that's going to be able to claw it back. And I'm usually wrong, and I'm wrong in this event as well. We're basically doing a dig without dig. Oh, Rovers. It's a little bit of cheating. I hate saying cheating. When the people coming up after you are running, like, Baja Claws are scale tires. Fossils are just straight up good old fashioned 475s. Well, pins. So the pins and the Rovers here have a bit of an, taking the 4. That was some split second stuff right there, because my brain went reverse it, and that's normal brain. Driving brain went, nope, that's not a reverse moment, that's a steer into it. That should stay. That should stay. Oh, the pumpkin. And there you go. It's already dead. So on 11, okay, here's the most fun one for me, for the toter, for everyone involved. Can I get this positioned thus? Okay, pretty good through there. Just got to get the servo horn past it. Did not. It hit the ball. Okay. I like that she's being real complete here. If you're going to hit one, hit it. It's going to be a little drop off. Take a little breathe. There we go. There we go. Be a little careful. All right. Rolling out. Hopefully camera 2 placement is decent. Overwhelming the servo a little bit there. That is a Flash Hobby 45 up in there. It might be a little, well, we might need a little more sauce. Even though we're servo and axle, the Rovers will hook. Okay. Okay, coming down. Rovers make up for the fact that we're not portal, we're straight axle. And we come up across. 2 gates and a lava. And again, realistically, she should be about an 11. I think on her best day, I think she puts down a 4. I don't think she zeros this one. All right, I absolutely murdered gate 6 with Misdirection. She took definitely most of her points at that gate. The reverse should have done something differently, but hindsight is invariably 20/20. Came in too wide for that, and remembered as I was coming wide through it, I have dig. Dig helps. Diamond Pros, which are real good here. Will that stay? Will that stay? Yes, it will. Now right here, we're going to go a little wider, get up there, and then can the fossils dig it back? It ain't pretty, but it do. Ooh, don't fall, don't drop. Okay, now again, dig. We can come up real high side here. Dig, pull the end down. Okay, so now Toothless should be able to orient himself a lot better coming into 4, because he can go wide here, dig it back. Oh yeah. Is that the most correct entry? I don't know. Is it the entry that I want? Yes. Come on, Fossil. Don't twitch. Don't twitch. I hugged a little excessively tight. You gonna fall off the outside, or are you gonna do this for me? Woo! We're using all of it. How much course are we using? We're using the whole thing. Don't fall. Nice. He just maneuvers so flat. Okay, I want to get almost pointed. Okay, this is one where I think, okay, getting a little tighter. Ah, okay. That 7's on me because we were millimeters away from where I wanted to be. That's all me. Toothless did his toothless best. Okay, coming up now. Same thing. Gotta clear it. Gotta clear it right there. Right there. Diamond Pro real slidey. And we're well clear on that side. Okay, hug up a little more here. Oop, oop, oop. Okay. Pretty good on the transition, really. All right. There's a little spot where I get stuck right there. There's a notch inside of a notch. The Fossil is kind of a favorite around here. Real versatile. It's kind of like Duratrax's Canyon Trail a little bit. That said, it is not a remarkable dig tire. Like, the front has a tough time overpowering the rear to pull a clean dig. Nevertheless, Toothless, brushed motor and all, with a nice lucky number 7. I think that leaves Tranq still as the points leader on a 4, but ain't nothing wrong with a 7. So kind of a similar take on Toothless is the Rattler, but let me tell you about two things that look ostensibly similar but drive radically differently. Toothless is good old, what's on there? 90s, Traxxas GTS, 90s all the way around. Rattler is 10 Pro fronts, Traxxas high trail rears. So hundreds and 110s. F10s in place of the Diamond Pros. Lay down chassis mount for the steering. He's got much less weight in his wheel tire combos. He relies almost exclusively on big knuckle weights. Okay, the S5s are the rock temperature has not exceeded the worry range. Get that skid off. Pull it down. I think Toothless was a bit smoother on entry right here. This guy, let me tell you, there's a lot more snap to this guy, and a pin in terms of dig. This is relevant. Speaking about it just moments ago, a pin is probably the best dig tire because a pin has no tread directionality whatsoever. That's shuttling us pretty bad. No, he's too far over. Just take a 2. That was an awful reverse. But if we can get, there we go. It could have been worse. We'll dig. His KV seems at some points right on. And at some points we're like, ooh, we're a little spicy. Okay, so Rattler coming up on 6, sitting on a 2. No one has had a good day when it comes to 6. And, okay, maybe we can use a little lucky pivot. We're both axles just hammered in. Okay, so that's a 4 for the lava. There was a brief tap of reverse, but he was already upside down at the time. So that reverse was to catch it. Yeah, pin. Will he be the first guy not to actually strike 6? Woo! Narrow track width for the win right there. Narrow rims, narrow tires, the whole narrow bit. We'll shuttle through there. So we're sitting on 6. Not too shabby so far. Got to get right there, then cut back, use that narrowness. Easy stuff through there. Good articulation, as one would expect with 110 rears. And let's see if that narrowness helps us through here. Also, NSDRC RS 700. Oh, no. Okay, now we're going to use dig to pull it back. Or not. Maybe. Yeah. If seeing Toothless go through there on the fossils and then seeing that little maneuver on the pin got bound up pretty bad, we kind of know the spot to dodge now. Yeah, the pin on dig is just, it's where it's at. It is where it is at. And through on a 6. So he edges Toothless by a point. But I'll say this, I don't know if the camera ever shows it, but it was definitely more work to get Rattler through there on a 6 than it was to get Toothless on a 7. And we close out today's very brisk group, moving with some speed, the heaviest, the widest. I would be willing to wager some very small amount that Tranquish might be, I would say, he's 80% of Toothless and Rattler combined in terms of weight. That's a push. That, boy, nobody heard that dig disengaged. Oh, that's not great. That was not, I had started to move to walk around the tripod because I was like, oh, we're through it. We're through it. That was not the rig at all. Now see, the Baja Claw, having a very directional tread, nevertheless manages some nifty dig tricks because of something else. The numbers and letters collaborating X2SS. Coming down, dig it. I mean, look at that pivot. Oh, I had it and I lost it. And I can't remember. He has to take the 2 because I can't remember. Or 4. I can't remember which switch is overdrive. Now he's getting messed up by the pepper. Okay, we got to try it. No. There it is. Big OD. We needed the big OD. Pulling through much nicer now. All right. I mean, 11 is not the end of the day. We will see if the 46% is the trick here. I know the spot. He's got the width. Can we stay up and on? So right there, that is where you want to be. No, we gotta take the 2. Don't fall. Take the 2 without falling. Oh, Baja Claw. Why are you my favorite scale tire? Like, by a lot? Too good. Don't. Okay, I was going to say, he's through. If that rear end squirts around and pops that yeller off, not his fault again. There's a lot going on with Tranquish. Okay, his width, it might not be an advantage here. What will be an advantage is G2 TRX4 axles, GRC G2s, because the clearance through there, but he's so wide. He's so wide. Nah, no problem. Weight is not a problem until it is. And we remember somebody turtling right there. He didn't come anywhere near turtling. He just went right through. He's got enough width to where he can bridge this gap that almost got the Rattler. Oop, not quite enough on the dig, but plenty on the dig right there. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We need to be over a little bit more. Okay. You know, just hooning out here. So we got another 18, and honestly, Tranquish deserved 4. Like, the fall to lava, I couldn't stop. That Gates, who else has hit 8? That 18 is, that's the nut behind the wheel, 100%. That's a spiritual 4 from the Tranquish, but on the board, it's going to be an 18 because we were trying to avoid the 2 points of a reverse and ended up taking the 7 points of a strike. So there you go, and there you have it. That was uneventful. We had a couple driver errors, but everybody did great. It also occurs to me, Tranquish was the only portal guy out there, and it benefited him a couple times. It really did. Easiest through, Toothless, for sure. I would say followed by Rattler. Then Tranquish. Misdirection is the toughest just because the way she's laid out, still on those stock capper shocks, which if she was swapped out those 96s from 90s, I think that would probably help overall. She basically has too much articulation, but you know, we kind of like it. Also, she could use a little bit more servo heft. I mean, I think everybody else has more powerful servos and they all have smaller tires. So she's got the biggest tires and the weakest servos. So she does have a little bit of uphill to climb. It was nice just running all RC4s. That all felt similar. It wasn't like nobody felt completely out of place relative to the others. The thing I noticed more than any of it was the differences in width. And we had dig for all 3, and I used dig with all 3, but I needed the dig the least with Toothless because he didn't get me into as much trouble. So I don't know if that's Diamond Pros. I don't explicitly know. Also, the 2 on the top rack are servo and axle, and the 2 on the bottom are chassis mounted steering. And I didn't feel like that contributed at all to Rattler being a little tougher. Rattler's lighter, narrower, and he has more articulation. So you got to take him a little more careful to keep him in line. But we did great. Nobody broke. I would say 3 gate strikes were both of Tranquish's gate strikes were just dumb. Like, I took my eyes off of him while he was still moving to step around the tripod and clapped gate 2. And then I was trying to hop through. If I had taken a 6-inch reverse, he could have gone through that one and taken a 2 and ended on a, what? A 9? Would he have a 9? Because he had 774. 11. He would have ended on an 11. But what difference does it make? So long as you're under 20, you made it. And it's more about looking at their capabilities and capacities. All 3 of these can make this course. They just did. And all four, I think, capable of showing something decent in the final at front nine, which front nine is tough. Front nine will not have a point out system. It will most likely, we're going to see some maxes, definitely some gate maxes. I think because of the way we've been whittling down, I don't think we're going to see any course maxes, because a course max is 146 points. And the cutoff here is, is 21. So if we put a 21 point cutoff at front nine, a lot of rigs won't make it to gate 4, basically. It's tough. It's tough over there. This one, everybody did great. I'm just hot from being in the sun. The toter has already fled the vicinity. They're probably already back in the house. As I said, they said, I don't want to be here today. And I was like, oh, because it's so hard. And then we got into a physical altercation. No, it was fine. I mean, I get it. It's for them, it's early in the morning. For me, I've already been at it for 5 hours. So I thank you for joining us for this brief interlude here for another installment of Crawlympics on Wheelin' Wednesday. We'll finish sometime in 2025. I can be sure of that. I can also be sure of thanking you all so very much for being here, just in general. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Hoping sincerely that in between now and when we meet again, you will one and all do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. And now for just a small California flex. It is January in California. And it's tough work if you can get it. You know what I'm saying? It's honestly, it's a little too hot.